What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Torrence. Today I wanted to do part 2 of a 3-part series. In my previous video, I did a tutorial using the juviasplace Violets palette because it was the most requested out of my collection, and I didn't have the easiest time with the performance of that palette. Although all of the shades were beautiful and the final look was stunning, it just seemed like the amount of energy and effort that I had to put into that look was a little more than what I was used to. So what I decided to do was try a few other palettes from the range to make sure that that formula had not changed up, simply because it just felt so different with the performance. So today, in part 2 of this series, I'm going to be using the Warrior palette, which is a 9-pan palette, and it has what I believe is the older formula. And then in part 3, I'm going to be using the Taupes palette, which I believe is also part of their newer line and the newer formulas. And I'm just going to test them out to see exactly what is going on, because I really want to get down to the bottom of things. Although in the makeup world, purples and blues are very difficult shades to formulate, it seems to me in the past, juviasplace has had no issues with that. And with this newer palette, it just wasn't quite what I was hoping for. So I just want to do another live demonstration showing you all exactly how the old formula performs. And then you all can give me your opinion on whether you think things have changed or not. But we don't want to go ahead and drag on about the old palette. I want to go ahead and get into this stunning look we have here. So if you all like this look, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're also subscribed to the channel. And if you would like to see how I achieve this look, just stay tuned for the tutorial. So today, what I want to do is go ahead and do a tutorial using the same brushes and the same style that I used in that previous video, and show you all the difference that I get from that. I truly believe that the formula has been changed, but I don't have any way of proving that right now. So we're going to go in today, test things out, and give you all a live demonstration so that you all can see the same things that I'm feeling on the inside. Start things off, I just want to give you all a view of the shades inside. Very warm, neutral palette. Absolutely stunning for everyday wear. And just like with our previous look, I want to start off with a lighter color on the inner half of my crease and a darker one on the outer half of it. So I'm going to start off with this shade here, Kano, on the inner half of the crease. And then I'm going to take this shade Mino and blend that on the outer half of the crease. But we're going to take our Wayne Goss number 16 brush. He's large and fluffy. And we're just going to start blending that on the inner half of our crease here. And just like with that first shade in the last palette, we have no issues here. It's just blending, it's buffing out. No issues. On that last one, we started getting issues when we brought in our darker shades. But I want to just build this up a little further just because I want true pigmentation here. I want to see just how dark we can get this transition shade. Actually, we're going to use this as the crease. We'll buff it up later for transition. You want to make sure you take your brush and rub it up near the top here just to get a soft and diffused blend. Gonna load up my brush and hit up the other side. Okay. Now look at that blend. It's soft, it's beautiful, and that's normally what we expect from juviasplace. The real test is in this darker shade. And just so you see we're not playing, this brush is completely loaded up. Knock off all that excess, just so you see we have a ton of product. And for this, we just want to try to blend on the outer half. And my issue with the last color was that it was not showing up as pigmented as it appeared in the pan. It was several shades darker than the first shade, and it did not come off that way. They were basically coming off neck and neck. And as you can already see, with just this first layer and with the brush being dusted off, that clearly comes off as darker than that front half. And that's what I was missing from that first Violets palette. I'm using a very large fluffy brush, so of course we're not going to get the most deepest, darkest brown, but we can always go in with a more compact brush and build that up. Right now we're just trying to get a transition going. And look, I'm still buffing, I'm still blending, and I haven't even dipped in a second time yet. That's what I'm talking about. That's the juviasplace I know and love. And I'm just trying to diffuse this. This brush is so large and so fluffy that most times I'm starting to realize I don't even need a second brush to go in and get that transition blended out beautifully. Look at that. You can easily see that this color in the inner half is lighter than this color here, but the blend and the transition is absolutely stunning. This is what I'm talking about, juviasplace. We're gonna go ahead and get the other side knocked out. This is always the hardest part about makeup. Getting two cute eyes is one thing. Getting two cute even eyes, whew, that's the struggle. And I'm the type who I just aim for them to be sisters, honey. They ain't got to be twins. Next, we're gonna go in with a slightly smaller brush and we're gonna go back into that shade Mino. Load up our brush thoroughly. And we're gonna place that on the outer V here first. We want most of that color to be right there. I'm actually going to turn it over and get the product off that side of the brush too. I really want this part of the eye to sink in the deepest. And then we're going to diffuse the edges of it here. And honestly, we can go all the way across. We did in the last video. And that lighter brown shade is still going to stick out. Look at that. juviasplace does not come to play. And then once again, try to fill up our outer V here. Go all the way up to the crease. Baby, look at her. Dark, smoky, coming through. Now for the lids, not sure which shade I want to go into. I absolutely love this shade here, Idia. And I believe what we're going to put on the outer half of the lid is this shade here, Benin. And just like with the Violets palette, I have my brush thoroughly packed. Like there is a ton of product on this brush. And so what we're going to do, no glitter primer. We're just going to go straight in. I'm going to try to pack it onto the lid first. And then buff it up. I'm just doing small swiping motions to try to get the most pigment here. Then just swiping it and placing the other areas. And I'm trying to press it all the way into the crease. And although I do have some fallout because of course I picked up a ton of product, this is adhering a lot better and it's giving me a much bigger shine. All right, look at that. And you can see just how bold and vibrant that is. Like I said, having fallout because I did my eyes first isn't a bothersome to me. I want to just try to grab a little more and see if this will layer well. And yes, it is. Going in with another layer is giving me more pigmentation and more shine. Okay, now what I want to try to do is go to the other side with a very small amount of product. Knock off the excess. And see if we get as much fallout as we did on the first side. And okay, there's still some fallout, but not nearly as much as we had to deal with that purple. But because I'm sort of in a race, we're going to go ahead, load this brush up, and keep it moving. Okay, now we're going to clean off the brush by rubbing that on the back of my hand to remove as much of the first color off. Okay, once again, I have my brush completely loaded up. We're going to put this on the outer half. I'm going to start right here where those two colors meet and blend this forward till it hits the halfway point. And this one layered and blended a lot easier than that first shade. Oh yeah, see, I'm gonna have to come back and wear this by itself. Oh yeah. That one went on so quick and so fast, and the amount of fallout was extremely minimal with that shade. And just to make sure our outer V wasn't completely covered, I'm going to go back in with my Wayne Goss number 17 brush in that first shade Mino. Tap off our brush and just make sure that outer V is still prominent. Hit up the other side. And whatever product I have left on the brush, I want to just bring my crease down a little bit. Like take and just buff that in just very lightly to give that a little depth and dimension. Just to soften up those edges. Now, as you can see, there is some fallout. Considering the fact I packed it all on my brush, I'm not wearing any type of adhesive or primer on the lid, you can see there is some shimmer here. But with that purple one, it completely covered everything in this area here. I don't know if it's coming off on camera, but I can tell that there's more fallout on this side here. It appears the sparkles did come down a little lower on this side, but there's more matte and shimmer particles all the way around this eye than there is on this side. But I'm gonna go ahead, cut away, finish the face, and I'll be back to show you all how we'll finish off the eyes. Honey, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair how much I am enjoying this look. Lately, I've just been pulling out things from my collection. They may be old to the makeup world, but they are new to me. And I am just loving it. Like, this neutral look here, as I stated, there was some fallout in the beginning, but this was 10 times easier to pull off than that Violets look. I'm still testing out the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara. Like I said, it is a beautiful mascara, but this thing is truly gonna dry out so fast that I have no intentions on purchasing the full size because I don't think I will get enough use out of it before it goes bad. On my lower lash line, wearing one of my favorites, the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. I love this formula, and because I wanted to stick more neutral today, I'm wearing the dark brown shade in Demolition instead of my black. For blush, I pulled out favorite Juvia's Blush Volume 2. The crazy thing about this palette is Volume 1, very deep complexions. If you are my shade or lighter, I would avoid it because if you aren't sure with your placement and your blending, things can go wrong very quickly. But this one here, oh, I love this one. And I've had it for at least a year, and the only 3 shades I've ever tried out was Lena, Zoba, and Sola. I would always just put this one here on the cheeks and put one of these middle shades on as a topper. But today, I tried to tell myself, try something new. Went in with this shade here, Tau, which is an orange shade. And although I wasn't sure what to expect, she looks nice and natural to me, and I'm enjoying it. So next time I'm gonna try out this shade B just to see if I can go for that dark purple and not be scared. But I am loving this, and I've promised myself not to use any of these 3 shades until I've tried out the other 3. So we already got one of those knocked out. And for the lips. Lips are my absolute favorite part of the human body. I would wear my straight up lip liner and my Baby Bellini lipstick. Today I told myself, try something different, try something darker, because I am not a big fan of brown or red lipsticks. They just come off very dark, very bold to me, and it just says a little more than I'm willing to speak out and say. But this here, this lip combo today, my straight living lip liner, the darkest brown I believe they carry in the line, absolutely love it. But this lipstick, Chocolate Spritzer, honey, I've been staring at my lips for about a good 5 to 10 minutes, and I truly believe this is my new favorite lip color from them. I have never found a brown that had just the right hue to it, and it's just beautiful. It looks like someone melted a chocolate bar on your lips. Like, new favorite. Like, there's no doubt about it. I love this shade. It's not a brown. It's not a red. It's like a mixture of different colors, and I find this shade so flattering for it to be so dark. So I just want to hurry up, finish my eyes off, because I want to hurry up and get on the phone with my sister to show her this look. And just like with the Violet's look, we're going to finish off rather simple. I'm going to take a push liner brush and use that for this shade Minnow. And then I'm going to go in with the pencil brush and this shade Kano and diffuse the edges of that. And this is the easy part. You just want to get as close as possible. You don't have to worry about things being perfect or blended out. And I'm telling you all, the very first time I used this Wayne Goss brush here, I'm like, why in the world would somebody create something so freaking small? There is nothing anybody can do with that. But the fact that he is so tiny is exactly why it's so beautiful, because you get the most pristine, smallest, sharpest line. I'm gonna take and just jump ahead and do this on the other side. Then we're going to take a pencil brush, I'm going to load that up, and we're just going to buff out the edges of that first shade just to give a more smoky effect. I want to diffuse that out a little more, so I'm going to pick up a little more color, knock that off. Oh yeah. Want it to be dark near the rim of the lashes, but I want that color to smoke out. Bam! See how much more blown out that is on this side than it is over here. Just gonna go ahead, finish this off. For the last step, I want to take this shade here, Moremi, and use that as an inner corner and brow bone highlight. Gotta make sure we load that brush up heavy, hit that inner corner. Bam! I'm telling you, I love a bright inner eye corner highlight. I'm going to take whatever is just remaining on my brush and just use that to sweep and clean up right underneath the brows. And remember, these are very pigmented and very high shine colors, so you want to go in very softly and diffuse the edges so it doesn't look like a straight beam of light underneath the brow. There we go. Fix Plus to give a dewy look. All-nighter, so it'll last all day. Cheap Fan, Expensive Breeze, Good Times. And this is the final look. I want to go ahead, give you all a full face view of things. And you already know, Juviasplace did not come to play, honey. This is beautiful. I am just sitting here looking at this and I'm telling you, honey, I have never been the hugest fan of neutrals, but this year they are showing out. It's just like this, to me, if I would have went with a lighter lip color, this could be a soft everyday look, but truth be told, nothing about this look is so dramatic, so over the top that you can't wear it on a daily basis. But I am really enjoying this, and to me, I'm already truly feeling as if the formula on these, the 9-pan palettes, is different from the 6-pan palettes, but this is only part 2 of a 3-part series. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is in my next tutorial, I will be testing out the Taupes palette to see if it gives me the same issues, but I'm going to make sure I give it a leg up because with many of my other palettes, I use different brushes. So I'm going to go back to the brushes I was using before. I'm going to also use a glitter primer and see if I have those same issues with the Taupes. If for any reason it cannot perform on the same level of this, that'll be all I need to know. But Juviasplace is still one of my very favorite brands. I'm always going to support them. So far I've collected all of their eyeshadow palettes and I will continue to do so. Because who's to say that some of those palettes in the 6-pan range aren't as good, if not better than the formula in the 9-pan palettes. But as of right now, my absolute favorites are the 9-pans. I just feel as if they are the easiest to access, not only on the Juviasplace website, but as well as Ulta. The 6-pan palettes I've only seen on the website. I haven't spotted any of them in store yet, but if for any reason they do come in, I'll make sure I keep you updated. But I hope you all truly did enjoy this look. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're also subscribed to the channel because I do have some news coming from my subscribers. Make sure you also stay tuned for part 3 of this series because I will be recording that taupe video tomorrow to get that out as quickly as possible. And with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye YouTube.